Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel. Now then, today's video is going to be a quickie. It's just to discuss something that's been on my mind for a little while, and I've been thinking we ought to make a video about it really. It's mainly aimed at the people entering the hobby, and it will mainly concern those who are looking at an entry-level RC. It's not going to really affect anybody who's looking for an Armour or a Traxxas or something like that. It's really going to be of use to somebody who is thinking of buying one of the cheaper Chinese brands. I'm going to use Xinlehong as an example. I'm not picking on them in particular, and there's any number of Chinese manufacturers out there that I could do the video about, but I've noticed there's a prevalence of Xinlehong clones, especially on some of the e-platforms, if you like, selling basically all the same thing. Now, it's just a bit of consumer advice. Like I say, if you're new to this hobby and you're after a particular RC, it's well worth, especially if it's a little Chinese one, it's well worth doing your research and shopping around, because you can very often pick up the exact same RC for a third of the price, and I'm not joking when I say this. So like I say, I'm going to use Xinlehong as a manufacturer as an example, but I could have used any number of Chinese manufacturers of RCs. So I had a quick check on eBay, and I was looking at the Xinlehong 9135, which this is a manufactured copy of. Now, the last count, how many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I noticed 7 individual brands basically selling a Xinlehong 9135. And they range in price, and I'm not kidding you, they range in price from 104.99 down to 43 quid for the Flyhal, actually, which is the one I've got here. I'll give you a quick rundown of the prices. Now, like I say, it's for basically the same RC. There might be a few differences in spec. It's normally the battery. Normally in the higher end ones you get a LiPo rather than lithium ion, but I did check, and these are all the brushless versions. So they're not the brushed, they're all the brushed versions, not the brushless. So they're basically all the same. So we've got, coming in at top, we've got Hosim 104.99, Vatos 91.99, Absema, I've never heard of, 74.99, Lucat, again never heard of them, 71.45. There was a completely unbranded version out there for 62.99. I think Xinlehong's version came in at about 60 quid, and then there was this Flyhal 9135 at 43 quid. So don't forget, you're essentially getting exactly the same product. Now, I don't know whether the Vatos and the Hosim are branded as a European brand, so somebody's gone to the Xinlehong factory and said, well, I've got this brand Vatos, can you make me some RCs? And they've turned around and said yes, and they're originally for the European market, that's why they're a bit more expensive. But in this age of globalization, you get all these branded RCs, if you like, all being sold on the same platform, so it can get very confusing. But like I say, if you do your research, you can save yourself an absolute butt ton of money. At some point I'm going to do an unboxing and teardown of this Flyhal, because I believe that these are going to be the ones to watch. I think they do represent, at the moment, I don't know if it's because they're a new brand, but they do at the moment represent excellent value for money, because you do get a few extra bits and pieces in with the Flyhals that you don't even with the Xinlehongs that they're a copy of. So I think Flyhal as a brand are going to be the ones to watch if you want an absolute bargain. So the crux of this video is really about doing your homework, especially if you're new to the hobby. If you fancy a particular RC, especially if it's Chinese, if you do a bit of research, do a bit of homework, you might find that there's a rebranded version of the exact same RC for a fraction of the price. And I mean a fraction of the price. I mean, there's a fair difference between, what is it, Hosim 104.99. okay, I think the Hosim comes with a LiPo battery, and the Flyhal at 43 quid, so there's a hell of a difference there. So again, my advice is, like I say, to anyone who's new, or anyone fancies a particular model, especially if it's Chinese, do your homework, do your research, and you might just turn up with the exact same RC at a fraction of the price. And just to reiterate, I'm not singling out Xinlehong in particular. There are loads of manufacturers that do this. I mean, just as another example, my little motivator here is basically a HS. It's basically a HS, and I've noticed that recently Xinlehong have joined the fray, and they've bought out an, is it EC10, which is basically a motivator. They're all about the same price, so there's no real advantage to having one or the other. So that's just another example of a brand approaching a manufacturer and just getting him to produce a model basically with their branding on it. Anyway, if you found this video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.